Hello, Debbie Stone, and thank you for watching. On yesterday's video, I promised that I was going to tell a story about an elephant in chains on today's video, and I will, and I'll get to it. I did a quote post a couple of days back on Facebook, and this is how it went. So oftentimes it happens that we live our lives in chains, and we never even know we have the key. Right? That's song lyrics from that Eagles song, Already Gone. And I was chatting with a friend who reminded me about this elephant story in chains. And I will share it. But first, you got to know where this story came from, right? Your wish is your command. This set of CDs changed my life in 2008. Remember when the economy was really bad that year? And all these businesses were going downhill and out of business, and the housing industry, all that stuff. Well, these little CDs, my partner and I, my fiance, we listened to. And he's been in business for 41 years come this October. He had his best year to date in 2008. And I attribute it to a lot of self-help reading, but this in general, right? And the narrator of this, I don't know if you can buy this online because this was an exclusive mail order. So if you ever happen to Google it or come across it on eBay, buy it. It will change your life. And the narrator is Kevin Trudeau. Remember that Canadian that used to do those info commercials? Something they don't want you to know about. Remember him? Well, he's the narrator of these CDs. So long story short, if I can, I want to tell you two stories. And it's about mindset. You'll get the point when I'm done. The first one, relatively short. Now, I don't think this was Houdini, but this was a gentleman who prided himself on being able to get out of any lock or chain, right, with a lock. Any padlock he could always escape from. Except one. They teed it up, him and a buddy or somebody, him and somebody else, to have him locked up in the county jail. And he was in a series of chains, and he believed and told everybody, and there was a big show, that he was going to be able to escape from this county jail. Long story short, he broke free of all the chains that were on him, but he could not unlock the county jail lock, right? And I'll get to the end of this story in a moment. Now, the elephant story. Kevin Trudeau, in this series of CDs, was talking about how elephants were trained. And what they would do is they would put a chain around the elephant's leg and a little hook, I guess, that was in concrete. They would hook up this chain, the other end of it, to this hook in concrete. And the elephant would try and break free of this chain for hours, to the point where he would become exhausted, right? And he worked on it, the elephant, all day long. And he worked on it for the second day, all day long, to the point of exhaustion. He worked on it the third day. And after a few days, maybe even a week, the elephant kept working on trying to break free of the chain around his leg, but he couldn't because it was attached to a hook in concrete, right? In order for him to break free, he'd have to get through that concrete, which just wasn't going to happen. So after attempting to break free and becoming exhausted, he ended up, over a period of time, giving up. and giving in to the fact that he was chained and could not break free. Right? So then when he was, I don't know, with the circus or whatever he was doing, where this gentleman required this elephant to work, he would chain this elephant up to a flimsy little post in the ground. And someone coming along said, "Why isn't that elephant breaking free? That skinny little post in the ground isn't going to keep that elephant attached. Why hasn't he broken loose?" And the man told the story of how that elephant is trained, right? How he struggled to break free of the chain that was on a hook in concrete, on a loop, I should say, not a hook, a loop, right? He was chained to concrete, and how he would try and try and try until the point where he just knew he was fighting a losing battle. So in the elephant's mind, that stake in the ground, the flimsy stake in the ground, was the same as that hook in concrete, where he learned to give up. Right? He had the mindset, why even bother? It's pointless. So getting back to my story of the man, and both stories are in this CD pack. Hopefully you'll be able to get your hands on it. So the man who knew he could break free of all locks was quite perturbed when he couldn't break out of the county jail. And why couldn't he? What was with this one lock that he could not master? It was never locked to begin with. But his mindset was that it was locked, so as it well as may have been locked. Right? So my point here is sometimes we can keep ourselves locked in a position where we believe something to be true, and it's not always the case. So I hope you've enjoyed my video, and I thank you for watching. And it was a lesson in mindset, right? And what we believe, and the stories that we tell ourselves. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on my next video.